Still the 2nd of the 12th, 2017, and I am looking at these European cams. And I just want to say as well that the moon is just looking very strange, and I believe it to be a reflector. It isn't the moon. I've studied these cams this evening, and I've noticed there is a big change in the system. Something big is reflecting, and it's getting stronger. Do you remember back about 4 months ago, there were videos brought out by other subscribers and other channels, and they were keeping an eye on Venus. Venus was far too bright, wasn't it? Back in June, July. It was really, really bright. But what I'm going to show you now on this webcam is the moon. Now, I believe that many of you will notice this, that it's too bright. Now, let me just go to the 18th here. Now, this is 6 in the evening, okay? Now, I'm going to press this now. Can you see this? No way can that be the moon. It's too bright, and it does look like a mirror in the sky, doesn't it? They're cloaking the moon. Can you see also how bright it is to the left side? Here, it is virtually daylight. Now, the cam doesn't carry on, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep an eye on it through the night, because I've noticed yesterday I saw this again, and during the night skies it was blue, virtually like a day sky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to another image. Here's another webcam as well, showing you the second day, and it's on the you can see that, can't you? 5 o'clock. Look at this. Can you see this red outline as well? It's like a small sun. And I'm getting over 50 emails this afternoon from other parts of the world saying the moon is looking very strange. It doesn't look like they can't see the craters, they can't see any of the outline. All they can see is this glowing object. If I go to the 6 o'clock mark as well, we'll see these strange formations again, don't we? Covering it. Look how bright this is. This blue reflection as well. Something is travelling with the moon. It really is. Very, very strange. I will keep an eye on this cam as well, because it stops, and we'll just keep checking it through the night time. Very important. Okay, now on this European webcam as well, like the images that have come through from many people around the world, we are seeing this pink haze. Now, it is rare in the past to see the pink haze, but it's happening every single day. Here in the UK, we saw them strange orange clouds, them colours, them reflections that are on them. Now, on this webcam again, you're seeing the white colour from the sun, but here you're seeing the reflections from this system that's coming in. These colours will reflect in our skies for a very long time, but it will gradually get stronger and stronger. Look at the reflection here on these rocks. So what I'm going to do is just continue, because every video that's been done is showing that this pink haze is becoming a lot stronger. Okay, now this is another cam, but I got an email this morning, funny enough, and it stated a guide turned around and said they would never chemtrail around clear mountains. It's just not possible to spray them areas. Not all of the places are being sprayed, but showing you this image on the screen, we can see that crisscross image of just blatancy of a chemtrail, can't you? 2 chemtrails above the mountains. So it just proves, doesn't it, that this is what they're doing. This image hasn't been enhanced or copied or put together. That is a true photograph that you can see clearly of the chem lines. They're spraying everywhere. To the people down on the ground here, they just don't want them to see the truth. Can you see this clearly? Now, let me just go through the cam. With this image, you can see, can't you? This is up to date, this photograph, this cam image. 1900 hours. The 2nd of the 12th, 2017. Now, look at that object. It is not, and I repeat, that is not the moon. I've seen the moon on webcam images, photographs, even with my binoculars, would look at it to my own eyes. Many other people look it up as well. We've seen what the moon looks like. Now, the moon doesn't also cause this blue sky surrounding it. And people still email stating that they can't barely see the stars at night time when it's being lit up. I mean, look at the object and the reflection as well on the snow. It is absolutely, completely, without a shadow of a doubt, not the moon. Too white and too bright in the sky. This image is just to show you that there is a big change. There's so many things in this year alone, in 2017, this has changed considerably. Lots of things, our surroundings. People have changed. I mean, technology has changed. And sadly, people forget about the past. Looking at nature, our trees are being harmed. There's many animals that are becoming extinct, even trees, there's so many things now that are just disappearing slowly. So it is just very interesting, isn't it, to pick up different changes, because study the webcams for a good number of years and seeing the differences, because if say we went back to the early 2016s and we picked up this image, you would just see the moon, the normal moon. You wouldn't see this bright object, I believe to be a reflector. They're hiding something, because the moon will not produce that colour in the sky. Okay, let me just take this down. As it goes down, you can just clearly see the sky is still very lit up blue, isn't it? It's a lot brighter than any other year. I mean, look how bright it gets here. Can you see this? It's beaming through, isn't it? Far too bright to be the moon. Now, the thing is, these areas are low populated areas that you see on these webcams, and they do spray at night time, the chemtrail, because they don't want you to see it. Now, in the UK, they do chemtrail across the area that we see of the moon, and they do this in higher populated areas around the world. But it's been caught here, isn't it? Red-handed. So we just got to continue, haven't we? Just an excellent catch, isn't it? I mean, how on earth can that be our moon? And all this haze as well that's being produced as well. See, if I just go down one, you can just catch the chemtrails. You can just catch that they're hiding this. It's a big... I mean, it is so evident, isn't it? I mean, look at this chemtrail here. You can see this, can't you? And again, this is all a haze. As we said before, why chemtrail the moon? Why? Well, let me tell you why. My belief is that this isn't the moon. And I keep saying this on this video, but it is shocking me because I have never seen it this bright before, ever in my life. Never. Okay, even with this cam as well, it's still very bright, isn't it? Now, what caught my eye on this as well, the Big Dipper. Fantastic star system. Many a time, my granddad and I, my brother, we used to go out and look out at the stars. Just a fantastic memory, seeing those star systems. And he pointed this out to both of us. Just a fantastic man. So let's move to other cams, because we're just going to keep going, haven't we, and keep checking, because still I am seeing a difference. I'm seeing a brightness in the skies. It shouldn't be like this at that time of the evening. Okay, now just looking across at this one as well, it does look strange. It does look like another reflector in the skies. It really does. Look at this pink reflection on the snow just down here, and we're getting this strange colour on the horizon again, I believe to be from those objects, wormwood. Now, Wormwood is here. It's in our inner solar system. Many people still have got to get their heads around this. And for those that are awake, we look around now in the daytime, looking at the skies, we see that they are still spraying very heavily around those areas in our skies, morning, noon and night time. And we see that dim sun as well. We know that that is happening. We know about this reflector in the skies, and also we know that the cloud systems have changed. But sadly, news media in the past have built a control towards the younger generation to state that those cloud systems have names now, and they are natural clouds, but they're not. They are man-made, produced by HARP, and also CERN is a big part of this agenda. So when we look at the moon, we should just see that great object up in the heavens, not this beam of light. So I do believe that they're using another reflector up there. It does look very strange, doesn't it? Now, going back to the other situation as well about the subscribers' images, I will produce the images again. I've got thousands of images that I'm going through. Now, that's not be disheartened about what's happened with the sad situation where people have been sending those images in, asking them to produce them onto a video. Now, I've got a way around this as well, because I've sent a long statement to YouTube and I got a response today, which was good news. So I'm going to continue to produce the photographs, because we've got many good people that I've recognised through their emails, and they've given us permission to accept those images to go onto screen. Now, I collect the permission emails and they're logged down, which is fantastic. So what we're doing is seeing a difference, aren't we? Now, I've also noticed that the earthquakes, the magnitudes, are very high. There was one in the USA as well, and that was a 4.1. Now, that was near Pennsylvania, and the other earthquake was down at Papua New Guinea, a 6.0. That was a big quake as well. Now, these earthquakes, the magnitudes are climbing. They really are. I've seen them climbing for the past 10 months. They were 2.4s, and now we're hitting the 6.0s. But they're not reporting it worldwide, because again, they just don't want mass panic, do they? They just want us to get used to this. They want us to get used to the skies and this whole situation. I do believe this could be a part of a coming pole shift, because the weather patterns are still strange. I've got emails after emails stating the solar wind as well. When they see the sun, the wind is different. And they heavily chemtrail their areas, and the temperatures rise. Are they trapping the heat? Are they keeping the heat in? There's a lot of things, isn't there, that's sadly the news media try and distract people, to try and dumb us down, so we don't, for them to catch the information. So let's go to another webcam image. This too looks like a very interesting image as well, this webcam, and I will put this onto monitor to study this, because I've seen some very interesting things in these skies here as well. But look at the time as well, 1900 hours, and the reflection isn't from the moon. Very strange. God, I just want to shake this cold off as well. I've had it for over a week. I know that many of you are suffering from colds and what have you, but it can drag you down. But you've got to keep going. Got to keep going. I've just noticed something on here as well that just made me quite surprised, really. Now, I've looked at the moon phases from the past years, and when it says it's moon phase 98.5%, the waxing gibbous, we all know that that is right. But Have you noticed that they've made it whiter, a lot brighter on the advertising of the waxing gibbers? It used to be just like a grey, but now it's a white. It's trying to confuse the public, isn't it? It always does. They do this, don't they? When they know there's a problem, a situation, when people look up, they just change this. They also have internet sites as well, saying about chemtrails as a hoax, and it's all a conspiracy. And let me just show you one of these sites. Okay, we've got a trusty paper, haven't we? Everybody does trust the Daily Mail, don't they? They trust a lot on newspapers, don't they? There's been many reports from newspapers, and it just makes me laugh sometimes. But look at the timestamp at the top there. Saturday, December the 22nd. Well, sorry, the 2nd. Excuse me. 2017. Sorry, this cold's getting worse. Chemtrails are not real. Researchers say secret large-scale atmospheric spraying program is actually just normal condensation. Well, so they're making out that we're crazy, are we? So again, the real researchers say secret large-scale atmospheric spraying program, but they turn around and say it's actually just normal condensation. Well, we know it's not. Let me just read a bit more of this. Here's the next piece of this. It just gets worse. You can just read this on the screen. They are believed by many to be the signs of a secret large-scale atmospheric spraying program used to change everything from the environment to human health. And it says here as well, however, scientists have finally poured cold water on the conspiracy theorists. Oh yeah, they've poured cold water on us, have they? And claim chemtrails are just normal condensation. Well, well, well. So the powers that be, that run the paper, run the news media, are throwing these lies to the newspapers to make sure they dumb the people down. But we just know that this isn't a conspiracy. This is actually happening. They're spraying across all the world. They're spraying at night time and the daytime. They've even got a chemtrail plane on this photograph. They're rubbing it right in our faces just to try and make people unaware of what's going on, to try and make them think it's just a normal passenger plane. And it says also here, well understood. And it really does boil me up when I read this, to be honest with you. It does. Because it's just so blatantly obvious. Anyway, physical and chemical process can easily explain the alleged evidence of a large-scale atmospheric spray program, commonly referred to as chemtrails, to convert geoengineering, concludes a new study from this Carnegie Science University of California, Lutheran and non-profit organisations near zero. I mean, we know that it's our taxpayers' money that's being sprayed across our skies. We can see them. I mean, hello, it just gets so frustrating, doesn't it, when we see those planes? And I've spoke to news media time and time again to try and get some evidence about this, and still no one says a word, do they? They do not mention these trails in the sky. They just want people, the members of the public, to believe that they're just normal planes in the skies. I mean, there's 30 or 40 lines in front of the area that we see of the sun. Above those strange cloud formations, we see different colours now. Too many chem lines. It's so obvious. So, I mean, it's when I read these news articles, it just shows you that the whole situation, governments, technology, NASA, I mean, they're just a whole bunch of underrated liars. Okay, right. Now, when I spoke about the earthquakes, with this one here, 4.1, that was in an area near Philadelphia that's called Dover in the United States. Now, report says as well that people felt that their TVs, their household belongings were shaken. Even one was had made a report in a newspaper saying that their dog was still asleep and slept through it, and she was quite surprised by that. But it's quite unusual to see that, isn't it, as a 4.1, because the magnitude is actually climbing, isn't it? So let me just go to this report. Here it is. It was it happened on the 30th of November at 9:47, 10 kilometres down from Dover, 4.1. Now, many people did report that. Family members had reported it too, so it was on news media, and it was 4.1. It's normally a 5.1. They do not like to give the true reading. Just stop mass panic. It stops people worrying, but they do this all the time. But yeah, that was a strange one. But the next one as well, I'll show you this. It's a 6.0 down at the Solomon Islands. Now, that's quite big now as well, because when we saw the magnitudes about a year and a half ago, they were only 2.4s, weren't they? And they're too climbing, aren't they? The magnitudes are getting much stronger because the Earth is being affected by this incoming system. This incoming system now, people call it the Destroyer, Nibiru, the Frightener, Wormwood. It's still there. NASA has admitted it to be Planet 9, but we know the true object. They can change the name to how many times they want, but it's going nowhere, is it? It's still aggravating our solar system. It's too big. They can't move it out the way. They can't do anything at all. All they can do is continue to build those underground cities using the black budget. It is true, real, and it's happening. Now, let me just go to that information about this earthquake, this 6.0 down in Papua New Guinea. Okay, this is the information. Now, I zoomed in to the Earth 3D chart then just to get a closer look at that 6.0, but you can see the date there, 1st of December, timestamp 2:50, and 39 kilometres down, and it's Papua New Guinea, and it is climbing, isn't it? This is the reason why it's good to go back to seeing this information, because that is quite big, isn't it? But still, they dampen things down all the time. Now, I'm going to go and I will sort out images this evening to provide on another video. I've worked a way around it, and with the emails that I've got off YouTube as well, it's